Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, lead beneficiaries. My name is Andrea Hegyháti Molnár. I'm working as a program manager at the Joint Secretariat of Interreg Slovakia-Hungary Cooperation Program. Reporting is one of the tools used by the program to regularly monitor the progress of the project implementation. I'm here today to talk about the project level reporting that is the responsibility of the lead partner. Main topics to discuss after a few words about subsidy contracts and project modifications. I will guide you through the procedure of the project level reporting. And finally, say a few words about project closure. But before going into more detailed discussion, let me draw your attentions to the available guidelines downloadable from our official website. I know that at first sight it seems a lot, but I strongly recommend all project managers to use them. Each and every guide and manual supports the management of different procedures. Believe me, it's worth to open them before starting one. Beneficiary manual provides information on all procedures, starting with contracting and ending with follow-up reports. Guide on eligible expenditure gives additional information on sound financial management and compliance with legislations. Guide on indicators describes how to report on indicators. Guide on project report provides information when, how, and what to report on project level. Interreg Plus manual provides detailed technical and practical information how to use our new electronic system, Interreg Plus. Contracting. Lead beneficiary is responsible for concluding the subsidy contract. This sets out the rights and responsibilities of contracting parties, who is the lead beneficiary and the managing authority. The subsidy contract enters into force on the date of signature by the LB. The project shall start on the date indicated in the subsidy contract. The signed version of the subsidy contract is scanned and uploaded in the Interreg Plus system and sent to the national authorities, who will then start the contracting procedure for the national co-financing contracts. Each and every project shall be implemented in line with the subsidy contract and its annexes. But even the most carefully planned projects might face some unexpected difficulties. In all cases, the lead beneficiary has to contact immediately the designated program manager, inform the manager on the situation, and submit a modification request. Template for this is downloadable from our website. It has to be submitted electronically via email. There are different types of modifications. There are subsidy contract modification, which has to be approved by the managing authority or monitoring committee. These are, for example, prolongation of project duration or modification of the composition of the partnerships. There are other project changes which are approved by the Joint Secretariat, which is, for example, modification of legal representative, modification of bank accounts, minor reallocations within budget lines, or reallocations between different budget lines under 20% or 10,000 euros. But all these specific types are detailed in our beneficiary manual. Modification requests can be submitted once per reporting period for the whole partnership. So it is advised for the lead beneficiary to collect all the requests and submit one request for the partnership. Reporting. In general, reporting periods last 4 months and are scheduled in the subsidy contract. Reporting starts with the preparation of the beneficiary reports. Reporting is one of the tools used by the program to regularly monitor the progress of the implementation. Financially, monitor the spending, the budget, content-wise, which means the progress of activities, delivered outputs, achievements, and qualitatively, this means the quality of reports. This is a two-step procedure. So first, beneficiary reports have to be submitted to the first level control within 15 calendar days counted from the end date of the specific reporting period. After the approval of beneficiary reports, the lead beneficiary has to submit project reports to the Joint Secretariat. The deadline for this is 90 calendar days from the end date of each reporting period. Both reporting procedure is in our new system, Interreg Plus system. Evaluation of the project reports. Project reports are evaluated and approved by the Joint Secretariat that has 30 calendar days to assess the submitted project reports. If there is a completion, that means additional 30 days, and deadline for completion given for the lead beneficiaries are 10 calendar days. The Joint Secretariat is entitled to initiate a revalidation procedure. That basically means the rejection of the project report. And in this case, the beneficiary reports are sent back to FLC control level and has to be revalidated. So if we count all these procedures, approximately 90 calendar days shall be counted for the approval of a project report. Reporting also represents the basis of the reimbursement of the ERDF contribution associated with the incurred project expenditures. Without keeping deadlines of reporting, being conscious about the length of procedure, you won't be able to provide an accurate cash flow plan. The expected duration of the monitoring procedure is at least 6 months counted from the end date of a specific reporting period without multiple completion rounds. After concluding the national co-financing contract, Hungarian beneficiaries receive national contribution as part of their budget as pre-financing without any prior requests of the beneficiaries. Slovak beneficiaries acting in the partnership of the project shall appoint one organization among themselves as main cross-border beneficiary who will conclude the national co-financing contract on behalf of all Slovak beneficiaries and receive the national contribution after each ERDF payment. Content of the project level report. There is a technical part and a financial part in the project level report. The technical part contains data partly automatically uploaded, and the remaining shall be filled in by the lead beneficiary. The task of the lead beneficiary is to summarize this data, add the missing information, and create one complex and united report for the whole project partnership. Financial part is basically the application for reimbursement that is complied automatically by the system based on the selected beneficiary reports and the issued declaration on validation of expenditures. Submission of the project reports will be in Interact Plus system. Recording users are authorized to record the project reports. After recording, signatory users have to sign it and submit them, or have the right to return it to the recording user for modification. After the submission, the project report will be validated by the designated program managers of the Joint Secretariat. Creating a new project report. Recording new project report can be started via the project report menu item. Previously recorded project reports are listed in the list screen. Recording a new project report is only possible if the previous project report has been submitted. Project reports cannot be submitted for validation until the previous project report is not approved. As a first step of submission, a new project report shall be initiated by clicking on the plus button. As a result of this, a communication panel will pop up. Lead beneficiary has to set the appropriate project ID, has to select the relevant beneficiary reports, and continue, press the continue button. And after this, the project report will be generated by the system. Different data sheets of the project report can be selected on the tab header. The first data sheet is a main data sheet. Under this tab, the most important information is given about the project report, such as period covered by the given project report. It is important to mention here that the period of the project report is calculated based on the reporting period of the selected beneficiary reports. Furthermore, there are financial information on the BRs selected on this data sheet. The next data sheet is the achievements and horizontal principles data sheet. And there is a list displayed on this data sheet. You have to select a question from this list and then press the modify button. A communication panel pops in where the descriptions shall be recorded. The first one is the summary of project achievements. In this section of the project report, the LB should focus on the description of the overall project implementation from the start date of the project till the end of the latest reporting period. It's important to avoid tackling project management, administrative issues, mentioning names, persons, experts, repetition of information. So this shall be description of main activities, outputs, results achieved so far. Next one is problems, deviations. In this section, the lead beneficiary has to provide information on any difficulties or programs or problems encountered by the partnership during implementation of the project. How to explain this in this section? Please address the program, clarify its consequence on project implementation, and propose solutions to face this change. Horizontal principles. The lead beneficiary has to describe how the partnership contributed to the specific horizontal principles during the implementation of the project activities. They have to describe the level of contribution, provide concrete examples, and upload evidence if relevant. The next datasheet is one of the most important part of the project report. These are the activities. Here, beneficiaries have to describe the main activities carried out in the relevant period, outputs delivered, contribution to the project-specific objectives. The LB has to summarize the progress of activities on overall project level. Part of this activity plan is the communication activity as well. This is, in all cases, action number 2, where you have to describe the implemented communication activities implemented in line with the visibility guide. Along with the description, the lead beneficiary has to quantify the delivered outputs and attach supporting documents. Before starting to prepare a comprehensive summary on implemented activities, don't forget to consult your originally approved activity plan, including description and quantified tangible outcomes approved. By selecting the activity of interest, the activity form opens up by the modification button. This is the activity form. First, you have to select the activity status according to the progress reached at the end of the selected reporting period. This can be not started, in progress, or completed. On this screen, the original description is displayed, current description from the beneficiary reports, and status from the beneficiary reports. It's a help for all the lead beneficiaries when providing these summaries, but be aware that it's not the only source of information. So if there are information missing, the lead beneficiary has to collect all this information. Then current description field by lead beneficiary is really important. Please avoid copy pasting the information from the beneficiary reports. So this lead beneficiary have to provide a description on project level. When describing activities, please answer the following questions. What was actually done? For what purpose? Which partners were involved and what was their role? How were the activities implemented? When were they implemented? Where were they implemented? So the summary should contain the following information: brief explanation on the status of the activity package, main actions undertaking, involvement of beneficiaries, other stakeholders, reference to the target groups reached, how all already delivered outputs were disseminated among the target groups. Described activities should also be directly linked to outputs or other deliverables. This section has to contain also the quantified outputs. Description of outputs have to be specific, quantified, linked to activities, and summarized on project level. On the bottom, you can see a documents data sheet. The progress of each activity has to be supported by detailed documentation. This should be the evidence of implementation. For example, photo documentation, completed studies, list of participants, agendas. Indicators. Actual value indicates the progress of the fulfillment of the relevant reporting period. Beneficiary shall type the value achieved exclusively in the period for which the report was submitted. Please avoid typing in or calculating cumulative values. The LB has to summarize the actual values reported in the selected beneficiary reported, double check the correctness, and revise if necessary. Lead beneficiary has to provide a description, a textual explanation. Here I would like to mention the final project report, where beneficiaries have to also report here on the reason from altering from the contracted target value, if relevant. Documents have to be uploaded here as well as evidence of the reported outputs. I would like to highlight the importance of guide on indicators. Please use it when you report on indicators, because in this guide, all the specific types of indicators are listed. The definition is described, and all the supporting documents are listed per type of indicators. Misinterpretation of indicators, double counting of values shall be avoided. This is how this looks like in the Interact Plus systems. So reporting on indicators, please select the indicator of interest on the datasheet, then press the Modify button. The project level progress of the respective indicator has to be reported in the current description field. This is called current description by LB. On the History tab, the user can view the status and the description given in the previous beneficiary reports. Project level values of the respective indicators must be provided by selecting the relevant beneficiary entry in the middle part of the communication panel by clicking the Modify button. Here you can see this pop-up table, this window which opens up if you press the Modify button. By opening this window, the only editable field is the actual value in the project report. Here you have to enter the actual value of the respective indicator. As a hint, there is this indicative value which is coming from the beneficiary reports, but I would like to highlight again or stress out that this is only an indicative value. This have to be revised, double-checked by the lead beneficiary and corrected if necessary. So the final value have to be indicated in the actual value in this PR field. The entered values are shown summed up in the actual value in this PR field in the main indicator communication panel. As you can see in the bottom, there is also a document sheet as part of the indicator data sheet, where beneficiaries have to upload the supporting documents in accordance with the instructions given in the already mentioned Guide on Indicators document. There is a financial part in the project report. During the preparation of the project report, the lead beneficiary has to select all declaration on validation of expenditure relevant in the reporting period. This was the first step already described for each beneficiary. The financial data of this DAV are automatically summarized in the joint project report. The lead beneficiary has no possibility to modify any financial information included. So this is automatically filled in by the system. The relevant data sheets are BR in PR tab, which provides detailed information on those beneficiary reports which were selected. Then there is a financial progress data sheet, sources of funding data sheet, and payments data sheet as well. Transfer from LB data sheet. The LB is obliged to give information on financial transfers of the previous reporting period. The transfer of the ERDF to all relevant beneficiaries has to be documented and proof of transfer uploaded in the system. So this data sheet will be active from the second project report. The last data sheet is the documents data sheet. In this documents data sheet, the system automatically collects the documents uploaded under any previous data sheets, as well as the project report and the application from reimbursement, which is generated by the system. Project closure. The closing procedure of the project starts with the verification of the final beneficiary reports and the submission of the final project report. During the project closing, the Joint Secretariat checks the final project reports and checks whether all activities are accomplished according to the approved project form and all requirements arising from the subsidy contract were fulfilled. Deadlines are same as in the normal project report, so the deadline for the submission is also 90 days. Reporting in the follow-up period. Follow-up reports have to be submitted for 5 years from the end date of the project implementation period or within the period of time set out in state aid rules. Reports shall give information of maintenance, utilization of investments, outputs, maintenance of services, cooperation of partners, net revenues, or any other communication measures. These follow-up reports are primarily compulsory to submit in case of investment projects. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact your designated program managers. Joint Secretariat is here to help you. Thank you for your attention.